Did you know that a single, ordinary breakfast food, eaten before 8 a.m., can help slow the aging of your leg muscles by as much as 10 years? And no, I'm not talking about any kind of pill, expensive supplement, or complicated superfood that requires a trip to a specialty store. Most people have seen this countless times before, but often overlook it entirely. Research from multiple universities, including Tufts and the University of Illinois, shows that incorporating this specific food into your first meal of the day can help adults over 60 preserve leg strength, improve balance, reduce nighttime leg cramps, and even lower the risk of losing significant leg muscle by up to 70%. That's not just a little better, the difference that can keep you walking confidently into your 70s and beyond. Unfortunately, most people don't know about it. Even worse, millions unknowingly make choices each morning that quietly weaken their legs, sometimes without realizing it for years. A silent, slow decline forces many older adults to rely on canes, walkers, or even wheelchairs far earlier than necessary. So let me ask, is your breakfast protecting your legs or weakening them? For many, the answer isn't apparent. But if you often skip breakfast, replace it with just coffee, or start your day with nutrient-poor options like white toast and sugary spreads, your body might already be in what scientists call a catabolic state, meaning it's breaking down muscle for fuel. This is especially harmful for the muscles in your legs. Your quads, hamstrings, calves, and glutes are the largest muscle groups in your body, responsible for everything from walking to standing up to maintaining balance on uneven ground. When these start shrinking due to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, the effects go far beyond weaker legs. Your stride shortens. You tire more easily. Your risk of tripping or falling increases. And in many cases, once you lose that independence, you don't get it back. The good news? This process is not only preventable, but partially reversible. And it starts with something as simple as your first meal of the day. It might sound too easy, but science is obvious. The proper breakfast can protect your leg muscles, while the wrong breakfast, or no breakfast, speeds up their decline. Why does this matter so much in the morning? After 7 to 9 hours of sleep, your body fasts. It's already running low on readily available fuel. Without an adequate supply of high-quality nutrients, especially protein and certain minerals, your body breaks down muscle tissue to meet its energy needs. And since leg muscles are the most significant and metabolically demanding, they're often the first to be sacrificed. Here's what most older adults over 60 get wrong. They skip breakfast entirely, thinking they'll eat later. They drink only black coffee, which can further stress the body without providing building blocks for muscle repair. They grab white bread or sugary cereal, which spikes blood sugar but offers little protein or essential nutrients. That's why studies show that older adults who start their day with a balanced breakfast, rich in complete proteins and supportive nutrients, can regain up to 30 to 35% more leg strength in just 8 weeks, compared to those who eat a low-protein or delayed breakfast. And these aren't elite athletes. These are everyday people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. Think about the ripple effect of stronger legs. Climbing stairs without pulling on the railing. Standing up from a chair without pushing off with your arms. Walking longer distances without stopping to rest. Sleeping through the night without being woken by leg cramps. One of my patients, Maria, experienced exactly this kind of turnaround. Maria is 67, a retired librarian from Portland, Oregon. For years, she started her day with only a cup of coffee while reading the morning news. Over time, she noticed her legs felt heavier in the morning, her balance wasn't as steady, and gardening, something she loved, became more tiring. One morning, she missed a step coming down her porch stairs and had a minor fall. She wasn't badly hurt, but it shook her confidence. After reviewing her habits, it became apparent that Maria's mornings weren't giving her muscles the nutrients they needed. She was unknowingly starting each day in muscle breakdown mode. I guided her toward a breakfast plan rich in high-quality protein, slow-burning carbohydrates, and key minerals, all consumed within the first hour of waking. Within 3 weeks, she reported less morning stiffness. By 2 months, she walked her dog for a full mile every morning without feeling winded, and her nighttime leg cramps had disappeared. This isn't magic, it's muscle physiology, and you can apply it just as easily. But the key is to start tomorrow and in the morning. The food you eat before 8 a.m. sets the tone for how your muscles function for the rest of the day. Wait too long, and you lose the advantage. The most effective breakfast for protecting your legs is built on 3 pillars. 1. Protein for repair and maintenance, essential for halting muscle breakdown and stimulating new muscle growth. 2. Electrolytes and minerals are used for muscle contraction and nerve signaling, preventing cramps and improving balance. 3. Slow-burning energy for sustained function, avoiding fatigue and keeping leg muscles active all morning. When all three are present, your breakfast acts like fuel for your independence, keeping your legs strong, your steps steady, and your confidence high. And while there's one standout food that delivers remarkable results, combining it with other nutrient-dense options multiplies the benefits. Leg muscle loss after 60 has a name: sarcopenia. It's not a disease you catch or something you can see on an X-ray. It's a gradual, silent process that starts earlier than most expect and accelerates with age. What makes sarcopenia so dangerous is that it doesn't hurt while it's happening. There's no swelling, no bruising, no apparent injury, just a slow erosion of the muscles that carry you through life. According to the U.S. National Institute on Aging, adults over 60 can lose up to a third of their leg muscle mass in 10 years if nothing is done. Imagine that: 30% less strength in the very muscles you rely on to stand up, climb stairs, and keep your balance. The result isn't just physical weakness. It's a chain reaction that affects almost every aspect of health and independence. The decline often begins subtly. One day, you notice your legs feel heavier when you leave bed. Another day, you misjudge the curb and stumble slightly. You may need to use your arms to push yourself out of a chair or feel hesitant about walking on uneven ground. Many people write this off as just getting older, but age isn't the cause. Muscle loss is. When leg muscles weaken, a cascade of changes follows. Shorter stride length. You take smaller steps without realizing it. Slower walking speed. You can't keep pace with friends or family. Higher fall risk. Balance becomes less reliable, and reflexes slow. Reduced circulation. Blood flow to the lower limbs decreases, making them feel colder or more prone to cramps. Falls are the most alarming outcome. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reports that 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls each year, and falls are a leading cause of injury-related hospital visits for seniors. Even a minor fall can set off months of recovery, during which muscle loss accelerates even further due to reduced activity. It's a vicious cycle. Another hidden effect of sarcopenia is metabolic slowdown. Your leg muscles aren't just for movement but also metabolic powerhouses. When they shrink, your body burns fewer calories at rest, leading to weight gain, especially around the abdomen. This belly fat further disrupts hormonal balance, increases inflammation, and makes rebuilding muscle even harder. Then there's the emotional toll. People who once enjoyed long walks, dancing, gardening, or simply keeping up with grandchildren may begin to withdraw from these activities because they feel unsteady or embarrassed about their mobility. Over time, this social isolation can contribute to anxiety, depression, and a decline in cognitive health. Morning is a critical moment in this story. After a night of fasting, your body is in a fragile metabolic state. If you don't supply it with high-quality nutrients soon after waking, it turns to your muscles, particularly the large, energy-hungry muscles in your legs, to provide fuel. This is why skipping or delaying breakfast for several hours is risky for seniors. It's not just about feeling tired or sluggish. It's about actively losing muscle before the day has even begun. Hydration plays a role here too. Seniors often wake up slightly dehydrated, making leg muscles stiff, heavy, or prone to cramping. Combine that with low electrolyte levels from overnight fluid loss, and your muscles are disadvantaged even more. If you've ever stood up in the morning and felt wobbly or experienced a sudden leg cramp, dehydration and mineral imbalance are likely culprits. Scientific studies have consistently shown that eating a balanced breakfast with sufficient protein, generally at least 20 grams for adults over 60, can help preserve muscle mass and improve functional strength. This is especially important for the legs, since they're the foundation for every movement you make. Protein triggers muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to repair and build new muscle fibers. Without enough of it, your body simply doesn't have the raw materials it needs. But protein alone isn't enough. Muscle contraction depends on minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium, as well as adequate vitamin D for bone and joint support. Energy for muscle activity comes from complex carbohydrates, which replenish glycogen stores that are often depleted overnight. The right combination of these nutrients doesn't just stop muscle breakdown, it actively primes your legs for better performance all day. Consider the difference between two seniors starting their mornings. Robert, age 72, skips breakfast and has only coffee until lunchtime. By mid-morning, he feels sluggish, his legs are stiff, and he avoids walking far because he fears stumbling. Helen, age 70, starts her day with a glass of water with mineral-rich salt, followed by a protein-rich breakfast with slow-release carbs and key minerals. By late morning, she's running errands on foot, tending her garden, and keeping up with friends during a walk in the park. Both are the same age, but one is quietly losing muscle while the other is building it. Leg muscles are more than just a means of movement. They are your body's stability system. They help protect you during sudden shifts in position, uneven terrain, and even when reacting to a loss of balance. When these muscles weaken, your entire mobility framework is compromised. The hopeful part is that sarcopenia is not inevitable. Yes, muscle mass naturally declines with age, but with the proper nutrition and activity, you can slow it dramatically and regain lost strength in many cases. The first and simplest step is to fuel your muscles as soon as possible in the morning. The earlier you start, the more you protect the legs that carry you through every part of your day. Maria's story perfectly shows how quickly things can change when you understand what's happening to your body and take action. At 67, Maria was a retired librarian in Portland, Oregon. She'd spent decades surrounded by books, organizing shelves, and walking up and down library aisles without a second thought. Even in retirement, she stayed active with morning walks, gardening, and volunteering at a local literacy program. But over the past year, she began noticing little changes that didn't feel right. Her legs felt heavier when she got out of bed. She needed to steady herself on the wall before heading to the kitchen. Sometimes her knees felt stiff, and other times her feet tingled. At first, she brushed it off as normal aging. Then, one crisp autumn morning, as she stepped onto her porch to water the potted plants, her foot caught on the edge of the top step. She stumbled and landed hard on her side. Thankfully, nothing was broken, but the fall shook her confidence. She told me later that it wasn't the physical pain that bothered her. It was the fear that her body was no longer reliable. She began avoiding her daily walks and stopped volunteering as often, worried she might lose her balance in public. The more she limited her activity, the weaker her legs felt. It was the very cycle that traps so many older adults. When Maria came in for a consultation, we reviewed her daily habits. That's when a big red flag emerged. She was starting most mornings with nothing but a cup of coffee and maybe a piece of toast, often not eating an authentic meal until late morning or even noon. She unintentionally gave her body hours without the necessary nutrients to repair and maintain muscle. In her 60s, this wasn't just skipping a meal, it was accelerating muscle breakdown, especially in her legs. I explained how the body shifts into a catabolic state after fasting overnight. Without food soon after waking, the body begins to break down muscle proteins for fuel. Since the leg muscles are the largest and require the most energy, they're often targeted first. This is one of the reasons many older adults lose leg strength so quickly without realizing it. We talked about creating a morning routine that would 1. Rehydrate her body after hours of sleep. 2. Provide high-quality protein to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. 3. Include key minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium to improve muscle contraction and prevent cramps. 4. Offer slow-burning carbohydrates to restore glycogen and keep her energy stable. Maria committed to making changes immediately. She started each day with a glass of warm water and a mineral-rich Celtic sea salt pinch. Within 10-15 minutes, she followed it with a breakfast that always included at least one high-protein food, such as eggs, Greek yogurt, or salmon, paired with a source of complex carbs like oatmeal or steamed sweet potato. She also added potassium-rich fruit, such as half a banana or a few slices of orange, to support muscle and nerve function. The change was gradual but noticeable. Within 2 weeks, she reported that her legs felt lighter in the morning. She no longer hesitated when stepping off the porch. Her balance improved enough that she felt comfortable resuming short walks around her neighborhood. By the 4th week, she told me she could walk a full mile with her dog without stopping to rest, something she hadn't done in months. But the most crucial change was psychological. Regaining strength in her legs restored her confidence. She stopped thinking of herself as someone who might fall and started seeing herself as capable again. That shift in mindset kept her motivated to stick to her new habits. Stories like Maria's aren't rare. I've worked with dozens of seniors who assumed that losing leg strength was just part of aging, only to discover that they could reverse much of it with a few consistent morning changes. The body is remarkably adaptable, even in later years. Muscle fibers can still grow, circulation can improve, and balance can be retrained. But it requires providing your body with what it needs at the right time. I often stress that the first hour after waking is a golden window for muscle health. What you eat and drink in that window accelerates decline or fuels recovery. It's not about complicated diets or expensive supplements. It's about simple, nutrient-dense foods in the right combinations. Maria still enjoys her coffee, but now she has it after she has eaten a proper breakfast. She still tends to her plants in the morning, but moves more confidently and stably now. And she's gone back to volunteering at the literacy center, standing for long periods without her legs feeling tired or shaky. If there's one takeaway from Maria's journey, it's this: leg strength is not just a physical asset, it's a foundation for independence, confidence, and quality of life. And for many older adults, the turning point begins at the breakfast table, not in a gym or a doctor's office. When protecting leg strength after 60, the right foods at breakfast aren't just helpful, they can be transformative. And while many people assume this means tracking down rare superfoods or buying pricey supplements, the truth is that some of the most effective muscle-protecting options are already sitting in your kitchen. Science has repeatedly confirmed that when eaten in the first hour after waking, certain everyday foods can slow or even reverse age-related muscle loss, improve balance, and increase morning energy. Let's go through 5 of the most potent options, each backed by research and tailored to meet the needs of seniors. If I had to choose just one breakfast food to protect leg muscles after 60, it would be eggs. They are one of the most complete sources of protein available, containing all 9 essential amino acids your body needs for muscle protein synthesis, the process that repairs and builds muscle tissue. The yolk is where much of the magic happens. It contains vitamin D, which supports muscle strength and balance, vitamin B12, essential for nerve health and coordination, choline, which improves communication between nerves and muscles, and leucine, an amino acid that acts like a switch for muscle building. A University of Illinois study found that older adults who ate 2 eggs each morning for 8 weeks had significant gains in leg strength and mobility compared to those who ate a low-protein breakfast. Eggs also supply highly absorbable iron, which improves oxygen delivery to your leg muscles, and they enhance neuromuscular control, meaning steadier steps and fewer stumbles. Practical tip: eat whole eggs, not just egg whites. Have them boiled, poached, or scrambled with vegetables like spinach or tomatoes for added magnesium and antioxidants. Consume them within 30 to 60 minutes of waking to maximize benefits. If eggs are the ignition switch for muscle repair, oatmeal is the steady fuel supply that keeps you going. Rolled oats are rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that reduces inflammation, helps balance blood sugar, and improves nutrient absorption, all vital for muscle recovery. Adding chia seeds takes it to another level. These tiny seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, potassium, and magnesium, 4 nutrients that help regulate muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and blood flow. This combination is especially effective for preventing painful night cramps and reducing stiffness from long periods of standing or walking. Practical tip: cook 3 tablespoons of rolled oats in water or almond milk until tender. Stir in 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and top with banana slices or blueberries for natural sweetness and extra antioxidants. Bananas are like a natural electrolyte tablet. A medium banana provides around 400 milligrams of potassium, 10% of your daily need, and vitamin B6 for nerve function. Potassium helps maintain the electrical signals that control muscle contraction, reducing the risk of cramps and misfires that can cause nighttime spasms or morning stiffness. A Harvard University study found that seniors who regularly ate potassium-rich foods, including bananas, had a 33% lower risk of leg cramps than those who did not. Practical tip: eat a small banana alongside your main breakfast rather than on an empty stomach to prevent blood sugar spikes. If you have kidney disease or need to monitor potassium, consult your doctor first. Greek yogurt has almost twice the protein of regular yogurt, which contains casein, a slow-digesting protein that continues to repair muscle for hours. It also delivers leucine, calcium, and vitamin D, all supporting muscle and bone strength. The probiotics in yogurt can improve nutrient absorption and reduce inflammation, indirectly supporting leg circulation. A Maastricht University study showed that older adults who consumed around 20 grams of high-quality protein in the morning, combined with light activity, improved leg strength within 6 weeks. Practical tip: choose unsweetened Greek yogurt to avoid added sugars that can cause inflammation. Add berries, cinnamon, or chia seeds for flavor and extra nutrients. At least twice a week, swap your usual breakfast for a portion of fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA, which improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation in muscle tissue, and increase protein uptake. Studies in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate fatty fish twice weekly maintained significantly more leg muscle mass than those who didn't. Salmon is also a rich source of vitamins B12 and D, essential for neuromuscular function and balance. Practical tip: Pan-sear fresh salmon in olive oil for 3.4 minutes per side, or choose unsweetened smoked salmon for a quicker option. Serve with roasted sweet potatoes or avocado for a nutrient-dense, leg-strengthening breakfast. These 5 foods share a common thread. They are nutrient-dense, easy to prepare, and proven to support muscle maintenance, nerve function, and circulation for seniors, translating to steadier steps, better balance, and more independence in daily life. And when they're eaten within the first hour of waking, their benefits are amplified. Some of the most powerful muscle-supporting foods are hiding in plain sight, and one of them isn't even considered a main course by most people. I call it a bonus food, something you can add to your morning that dramatically improves hydration, mineral balance, and leg muscle recovery. It's steamed sweet potato sprinkled with Celtic sea salt. At first glance, this might seem too basic to make much difference. But the combination delivers precisely what your muscles crave after a night of fasting: steady energy from complex carbohydrates and the trace minerals your nervous system needs to send strong, coordinated signals to your muscles. Sweet potatoes are an excellent source of complex carbs that replenish muscle glycogen, the stored energy your muscles draw on when you walk, climb stairs, or stand for long periods. Unlike refined carbs, the starch in sweet potatoes digests slowly, avoiding the blood sugar spikes and crashes that can leave you feeling shaky or tired mid-morning. They're also rich in potassium, magnesium, manganese, and vitamin C. Potassium helps maintain proper muscle contraction and prevents cramping. Magnesium is known as the muscle relaxation mineral, easing stiffness and improving balance. Manganese supports connective tissue repair, including tendons and ligaments. Vitamin C helps protect muscles from oxidative stress and supports collagen production, which keeps your joints healthy. Research from the French Institute of Mineral Nutrition found that older adults who combined a high-fiber carb source like sweet potatoes with magnesium and potassium-rich seasoning experienced a 41% improvement in balance and nearly 50% fewer falls over 90 days. Not all salt is created equal. Standard table salt is heavily processed and stripped of most trace minerals. Celtic sea salt, on the other hand, contains over 80 naturally occurring minerals and trace elements, including magnesium, calcium, and zinc, that your muscles and nerves require for optimal function. These minerals help regulate fluid balance within muscle cells, prevent painful spasms caused by electrolyte imbalances, enhance nerve signal transmission between the brain and leg muscles. Unlike refined salt, Celtic sea salt does not sharply raise blood pressure when used in small amounts. Instead, it helps stabilize blood pressure within muscle tissue, allowing for smoother, more coordinated contractions. The key is timing. Have your sweet potato and Celtic sea salt 10-15 minutes before your main breakfast, ideally after your morning glass of water. This early primer meal stabilizes blood sugar, jumpstarts digestion, and prepares your muscles to maximize the protein and other nutrients in your main breakfast. Here's a simple method. 1. Steam half of a medium sweet potato until tender. 2. Sprinkle lightly with 1/2 teaspoon of Celtic sea salt while still warm. 3. Eat slowly, allowing your body to absorb the minerals before moving on to your main meal. If you prefer variety, add a pinch of cinnamon or a drizzle of olive oil for extra flavor and anti-inflammatory benefits. Take James, a 71-year-old retired high school coach from Boise, Idaho. After knee surgery, he noticed his legs felt stiff every morning, and he experienced cramps in his calves several nights a week. He started adding the sweet potato and Celtic salt combo to his mornings, along with better hydration. Within a week, his nighttime cramps had nearly disappeared. Within a month, he reported feeling more stable when stepping off curbs and getting up from a chair. What's important here is not just the food itself, but the consistency. Muscle and nerve function depend on regular, daily replenishment of electrolytes and minerals. Skipping them for a few days can quickly undo your progress. While the sweet potato and Celtic sea salt combination isn't meant to replace a balanced breakfast, it works as a powerful pre-breakfast or side that boosts the effectiveness of your main meal. It's like priming an engine before a drive. Your muscles are ready to fire efficiently for the rest of the day. For seniors, this small step can mean fewer morning wobbles when getting out of bed, reduced cramps during both day and night, better stability when walking on uneven ground, increased confidence in your ability to move freely without fear of falling. And the best part? This habit costs pennies daily, requires no complicated recipes, and can be prepared in minutes. You don't need to be a chef. You just need consistency. By pairing this mineral-rich, energy-stabilizing side with the core breakfast foods we discussed earlier, eggs, oatmeal with chia, bananas, Greek yogurt, and salmon, you give your legs a complete nutritional toolkit for staying strong and steady well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Eating the proper breakfast is like giving your legs the raw materials they need to stay strong. But pairing that with a few smart morning habits can take your results from good to remarkable. For people over 60, these simple routines can improve circulation, sharpen balance, and enhance coordination while reducing the risk of falls. Think of them as the activation side of the equation. Your breakfast fuels your muscles, but these habits turn that fuel into action. Your body loses water and electrolytes overnight through breathing, sweating, and urination. Even mild dehydration can make your legs feel heavy, stiff, or cramp-prone first thing in the morning. Before you reach for coffee, start with a 250 milliliter glass of warm water mixed with 1 par 5 teaspoon of Celtic sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. This combination helps replenish sodium, potassium, magnesium, and trace minerals for nerve muscle communication. Improve leg circulation by increasing blood volume and flow. Reduce the risk of dizziness when you stand up quickly. Pro tip: sip the water slowly over 5 minutes while sitting upright. This gives your body time to absorb the minerals and prevents lightheadedness. It doesn't take an hour to wake up your muscles at the gym. Just 3 minutes of targeted movements can prime your legs for the day. One of the most effective is the single leg stand. 1. Stand tall and lift 1 foot 2.4 inches off the ground. 2. Hold for 10 seconds while keeping your posture upright. 3. Switch legs and repeat 5 times per side. This exercise strengthens your calves, thighs, hips, and core while training your balance, all critical for preventing falls. If you feel unsteady, hold onto a countertop or sturdy chair until your stability improves. Many seniors stand up too quickly in the morning, which can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure and lead to dizziness or even falls. Instead, take 3 slow breaths after waking. Then, 1. Roll to your side and sit up gradually. 2. Rotate your wrists and ankles to re-engage circulation. 3. Plant both feet firmly on the floor before standing. This gentle approach reactivates blood flow to your brain and legs, reducing the risk of morning stumbles. 5 minutes of early morning sunlight, whether on your balcony, porch, or near a bright window, can boost your body's production of vitamin D. This is essential for bone health, muscle strength, and proper calcium absorption. Low vitamin D levels are linked to weaker leg function and higher fall risk in older adults. If you live in a low sunlight area or during winter, consider a vitamin D supplement after discussing it with your doctor. Your body enters a catabolic state when you wake up, which starts breaking down muscle tissue for fuel. The longer you go without eating, the more muscle you lose, especially in your legs. Even if you're not ready for a full breakfast, have something small within 30-60 minutes of waking, such as half a steamed sweet potato with mineral salt, a boiled egg, A small serving of Greek yogurt. This stops muscle breakdown and shifts your body into repair mode sooner. Combining proper hydration, gentle activation exercises, safe movement transitions, sunlight exposure, and timely nutrition creates an environment where your muscles can perform at their best. Over time, these small steps become second nature. And the payoff is enormous. Steadier steps throughout the day. Better endurance for walking and standing. Reduced leg cramps both day and night. Improved confidence in your ability to move freely. I've seen seniors who struggled with morning stiffness completely transform how they start their day by following this routine for just a few weeks. The difference isn't only in how their legs feel, but in how they move, with more energy, stability, and assurance. You don't need expensive equipment or complicated plans. You just need to show up for your body each morning. When you do, your breakfast doesn't just feed your muscles, it works with your habits to protect your independence for years. By now, you've seen how powerful a well-planned morning can be for keeping your legs strong and steady after 60. The right foods give your muscles what they need to repair and grow, and the proper habits ensure those muscles are activated, balanced, and ready to carry you through the day. Combined, they form a daily blueprint for preserving independence, something far more valuable than any supplement or fitness gadget. Let's recap the essentials you can start using tomorrow morning. Core breakfast foods: whole eggs for complete protein and muscle-building leucine, oatmeal with chia seeds for steady energy and anti-cramp minerals, bananas for potassium and nerve health, Greek yogurt for slow-digesting protein and bone support, salmon for omega-3s and inflammation control. Bonus booster: steamed sweet potato with Celtic sea salt to restore electrolytes, improve balance, and stabilize energy before breakfast. Supporting habits: morning mineral-rich hydration, quick balance drills, mindful rising from bed, a dose of morning sunlight, and eating promptly to stop muscle breakdown. The body's ability to adapt doesn't vanish after 60. While muscle recovery may take a little longer than it did decades ago, the basic biology remains the same. Give your muscles the raw materials they need, challenge them gently but consistently, and they will respond. Numerous studies show that adults in their 70s and 80s can regain muscle size, strength, and function with the proper nutrition and activity. That means you're not too old to make a change. You're not too far gone if your legs feel weak. Whether you're just starting to notice morning stiffness or you've been dealing with unsteady steps for years, the habits we've discussed can create real, noticeable improvements, often within weeks. Strong legs aren't just about walking farther or climbing stairs more easily. They're about freedom. The freedom to run errands without worrying about fatigue or losing your balance. The freedom to enjoy social activities without fear of stumbling. The freedom to take spontaneous trips, visit family, or play with your grandkids without physical limitations holding you back. Every breakfast, every glass of mineral water, and every morning stretch are small investments in that freedom. And like any good investment, the returns grow over time. Don't feel pressured to overhaul your entire morning tomorrow. Pick one or two changes. Maybe start with adding eggs to breakfast and drinking mineral-rich water before coffee. Once that becomes a habit, layer in the others. Consistency matters far more than doing everything perfectly from day one. If you ever doubt that these small steps make a difference, remember Maria's story. She didn't start with a complete plan, just a decision to stop skipping breakfast and drink mineral water each morning. That alone began reversing her leg weakness and rebuilding her confidence. The rest followed naturally. Every day begins with an opportunity to either protect or let your leg strength decline. No one else can make that choice for you. The difference between unsteady and capable often comes down to what you do in those first 60 minutes after waking. So tomorrow morning, Stand at your kitchen counter with your glass of water, your simple breakfast, and the knowledge that you are doing something powerful for yourself. Not just for your legs, but for your independence, confidence, and future. If you found these insights helpful, keep learning, keep experimenting with your morning routine, and share your progress with others. You might inspire someone else to strive towards stronger, steadier legs. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more science backed strategies for staying active, healthy, and independent well past 60. Because your best years aren't behind you, they're still ahead, waiting for you to walk into them with strength and confidence.